Something big is shifting inside Number 10, and it's sending shockwaves through the heart of Starmer's government. What began as a quiet policy change has now spiraled into a full-scale political crisis, with internal panic, furious MPs, and a public backlash Labour never saw coming. Now, under mounting pressure from his own party and the public, Keir Starmer is on the verge of making a decision that could define his leadership for better or worse. A dramatic U-turn is looming, but the real question is, why now? Let's unpack the full story. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. There's a storm brewing inside Downing Street, and this time it's got nothing to do with opposition attacks or media spin. The pressure is coming from inside the House. In what could be one of his most embarrassing retreats to date, Keir Starmer is now reportedly preparing for a dramatic U-turn on one of the most controversial policies of his premiership, the cut to winter fuel payments for millions of pensioners. And make no mistake, this is not just a quiet policy tweak, this is a full-blown political climb down being frantically discussed behind closed doors, and insiders suggest an announcement could come as early as next month. Let's rewind. Late last year, just weeks after Labour swept into power, Chancellor Rachel Reeves quietly imposed a means test on the winter fuel payment, a benefit worth up to £300 a year that millions of pensioners rely on to stay warm during the coldest months. The move, aimed at saving £1.4 billion, meant that only those on pension credit or income-related benefits would still qualify. The fallout was instant. 9 million pensioners lost access to the payment. That's 9 million people, many of whom had spent their lives paying into the system, suddenly told they no longer qualified for basic help with heating costs. And worse, this wasn't even in Labour's election manifesto. It was a stealth cut, rammed through without a public mandate. Labour tried to justify it by pointing to a £22 billion black hole left behind by the Tories. But for those affected, that excuse rang hollow. And now, according to the iPaper, Starmer's team is seriously considering reversing the cut, or at least watering it down, because of the political backlash it's unleashed. According to multiple sources, internal discussions in Number 10 have ramped up this week. Focus groups have reportedly shown that voters wouldn't punish the government for a U-turn, particularly if it means helping struggling pensioners during a cost of living crisis. Some Labour MPs have gone even further, describing the policy as kryptonite on the doorstep. One Red Wall MP put it bluntly, "We're being hammered out here. People believe we've taken away help from their parents and grandparents to fund asylum hotels. Whether that's true or not, that's what they believe. And it's killing us." That perception that pensioners were being punished to make room for handouts elsewhere has become toxic, and it may explain why Labour lost 2/3 of the council seats it was defending in the local elections, and why Reform UK just snatched victory in the Runcorn and Helsby by-election. Now, reports suggest Downing Street is considering a range of options. One is to raise the income threshold from the current £11,500 limit, allowing more pensioners to qualify again. Another is to delay the policy until after the next fiscal review. But a full reversal, that's still very much on the table, even if Starmer and Reeves are hesitant to admit the policy was a mistake. And the stakes are high. If Labour holds firm, it risks alienating its traditional voter base, particularly older, working-class communities in the Midlands and North. If it backs down, it risks looking weak, indecisive, and afraid of its own shadow. Either way, it's a lose-lose scenario entirely of its own making. Senior party figures are already breaking ranks. Welsh First Minister Eluned Morgan is among those calling for a rethink. The Labour Red Wall Group has written to Starmer urging action, saying, "It is not weak to listen, it is weak to ignore voters." Even shadow ministers are turning up the pressure. Former Transport Secretary Louise Hay has admitted that Labour's unpopular decisions are overshadowing the good ones. Behind that diplomatic phrasing lies a growing sense of panic inside the party. And for Starmer, this episode exposes a deeper problem. He came into power promising stability, competence, and a government that respects working people. Yet within weeks, his Chancellor slashed support for pensioners without warning, without consultation, and without any sense of how it would play politically. Now the leadership is scrambling to patch the damage before it spreads further. We may not have a final decision yet, but all signs point to a humiliating reversal. Insiders suggest Rachel Reeves could announce changes as soon as June 11th during her next spending review. Others believe any adjustment will be quietly folded into the autumn fiscal event to save face. But one thing is clear, Labour underestimated just how badly this policy would go down. And now, with their credibility on the line and public anger reaching boiling point, they're being forced to consider the unthinkable, admitting they got it wrong. Whether this U-turn comes in days or weeks, one thing is certain. This isn't just about fuel payments. It's about trust, accountability, and whether Starmer's government truly listens or just pretends to. Stay tuned, this one's far from over. Lastly, Prince Harry, Prince Archie, and Princess Lilibet will not appear in the second series of Meghan's Netflix show, according to a source. The insider added that Chrissy Teigen will make a guest appearance for the second season of With Love, Meghan. The model, TV personality, and cookbook author has been friends with the Duchess of Sussex for some time and represents a more high-profile guest than those who appeared in the first series. The Duke of Sussex made only a brief appearance in the first installment of his wife's show. The second series was filmed back-to-back with the first in spring 2024, before Meghan had finalized her brand name or product range. It is scheduled to stream on Netflix this autumn. Prince Harry's absence marks a change from the first series, where he made a brief appearance at a celebration brunch for his wife's new venture, raising a glass of champagne with the words, "Well done, you did a really great job and I love it. To you." Meghan and Chrissy share a connection from their days working on the American game show Deal or No Deal, where they both appeared as briefcase girls. Teigen was part of the first season in 2005, holding briefcase number 12, whilst Meghan joined the program for the 2006 and 2007 series with briefcase number 24. In a 2018 interview, Chrissy expressed her admiration for the Duchess, saying, "I'm especially a fan of Meghan. I was on Deal or No Deal with her, and she was lovely." A source told the Mail, "Chrissy is the big name in Series 2, and they have been friends for a long time." The source added, "There is no sign of Harry at all in this one, and nothing of the children either." The first series of With Love, Meghan aired less than a week before the second series was confirmed. It featured the Duchess sharing her tips and tricks for hosting and adding more fun and thoughtfulness to the everyday. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.